Welcome to TwoQuestions.tv. I'm Susan Baroncini-Moe. Joining me today is Terry Monroe. He's the founder and president of American Business Brokers and Advisors. He's also the author of this book, Selling with Certainty, Straightforward Advice for Cashing In on the Full Value of Your Business. Hi, Terry. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Susan. Thank you. Great to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you on the show. I'm so interested to talk to you. I am personally and professionally intrigued with family business. I grew up in a family business. I sold my shares in a different family business. Now I own a different family business. And I've done a fair amount of study in this area. And I'm just always so fascinated by the fact that such a high percentage of business owners don't have an exit or succession plan. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it is, Susan, because I think they all think they're going to live forever. Men are more guilty of this than what I think ladies are. Because we think we're invincible and we're going to live forever. So we don't want to think about that stuff. It's just, that's not on the forefront of our mind at all. And what happens is, things happen in life, which I cover in the book, and then all of a sudden, the light bulb comes on. But generally, I think that's probably the big question right there. We try to avoid it. We're in denial.
Yes. Well, okay, so I've noticed that with family business owners, they do tend to wait too long to sell, and the market shifts or the value drops. But sometimes they just wait, and then it's a little difficult to sell. So how can we help family business owners not wait so long?
Excellent question, because that was the whole idea of the reason I wrote the book, was to help educate people on this and not make the mistakes that I made and a lot of my clients have made. They need to know that there are some benchmarks and there's some reasons. There's a couple of reasons. If you're healthy and you're thinking about someday you're going to sell it, the question I always get is, when is the best time to sell a business?
Long before you
when
think.
It's doing well, and not when it's doing bad. When the business is trending every year and it's getting better and better and better, that's the best time to sell, when the market's good. Mm-hmm. What concerns me is what happens is people will have a significant life impacting event. We all have them. It's okay. But something will happen. And it's sort of sad. I tell people I work in the D business, which I don't really like doing it, which is death, disease, divorce, partnership dissolution, disruption. And I call them the dismal D's in the book. Yeah. And that's when all of a sudden the light bulb comes on, Susan, and says, oh, I need to do something. What do I do? Who do I call? And that's that procrastination factor that's came into play all that time. Yeah. If we can just get them to look forward a little bit, and I always talk about, if I could get a hold of a family business, 2, 3, 4 years ahead of a time, just to have a conversation. I'm an advisor in that manner, just to advise them so they know they have a heads up, they don't get blindsided. So
it's so funny because I've talked on this show with others who have said this very similar things, like, oh my gosh, stop waiting. And I think it's hard for them because so many business owners that I talk to are like, yeah, but I don't want to retire yet. And I'm going, okay, look, this isn't about retiring. This is about really ensuring, because the reality is we're all going to die, and nobody likes to think about that. But at some point, something happens where you either choose to not run your business anymore, or life chooses for you. And none of us knows when those things are going to happen. And that makes it feel a little bit like insurance, where you're building an insurance policy to you wouldn't, if you said, hey, would you like to risk your entire business if something happens to you? Like, no one would say, sure. It's just crazy.
It's totally crazy. It totally is. And here's the thing, a business owner needs to ask themselves, it's small family business, generally the largest thing they have on their financial statement. When you go to the bank, you have to fill out a financial statement. Okay? And you list how much money you have in the bank, if you got any CDs, if you got automobiles, real estate. Yeah. And if they're an independent business person, they will list the value of their business. Okay? Well, generally, that is going to be the largest one asset on the entire financial statement. yet they don't treat it with the respect they should.
Right.
You get insurance, like you said, for your cars. You got insurance for your house. If your house burns down, what happens if something happens to your business? They don't think about it. And all this is you did a very good job explaining it. It's just insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Why not know what's going to happen? The business will be sold either by you, your relatives, your heirs. Somebody's going to sell it one of these days. But most people, they're in denial. They think they're going to live forever and ever we're going to have kumbaya and it's going to be a love fest. It just doesn't happen.
Well, I like in the book where you I think have a really good idea to practice selling the business by taking a vacation. And I really thought that was a really good idea because it's, and I think about this from the perspective of being an executive coach. I think about, okay, you're going to have challenges as you make this transition, as you make the decisions to let go of the family business. You're going to have challenges as you think about creating the next chapter of your life. There are going to be some emotional things that are going to happen, and a lot of people aren't prepared for that. And I think practicing it by going on a really nice vacation is a good idea. Is that something you've put into practice with your clients?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
When I interview my clients, of course, they call me in, and I thought when I got in this business, Susan, I thought it would be all numbers, no emotion. I thought, I'm good at numbers, but this is going to be a piece of cake. And what I found out was just the opposite. I am more of a psychiatrist than I am a numbers person because it's so emotional. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I'll ask them is, what are you going to do after you sell the business? And if they go, I don't know, then I start talking to them. When I first started selling businesses years ago, I was down in Florida. And in Florida, nobody thinks that people have real lives down there. They think everything is about the mouse, Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yeah.
And these guys would sell their businesses or retire from up north, and they'd move to Florida. And after about 6 months of living at home, their wife would tell them, if you don't go get a job or buy a business, I'm going to kill you because you can only fish and golf so much. And that's what I discovered, that they didn't know what they wanted to do, and they thought that they wanted to do this. And so they went, and then at that point, they went and bought themselves a job. So I backed into this.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with buying yourself a job. But I backed into it, and I'd interview guys, and they said, well, if I can get this price, I'll sell. No, that's not the right reason. Yep. What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to travel, or I'm going to do this. Why don't you do a trial run?
Yep.
If you think you want to fish and you want to travel, take off for a month and see if you get the heebie-jeebies, or, you can handle it. Yeah. Do a test run.
Yeah.
You buy a pair of shoes, you try them out. I mean, this isn't rocket science.
Yeah. Well, it is and it isn't, right? Because when you're in it, sometimes you can't see, like when you're in the picture as a part of the picture, you can't see the frame and you can't see what else is really in the picture. So I think I've always felt there's a good case for coaching as a partner in selling the business, because so many people who sell their businesses just really struggle with that emotional piece and the clarity of what's their next step. But I think you summed up beautifully in the book. The book is definitely a great read for people who have a family business and are thinking, maybe at some point, someday. I know there are a lot of people who just want to work themselves into the grave, but at some point, maybe you might like to do something else, or, spend time with your family or whatever. So I think the book's a great book. Terry, where can folks find you?
You can find it at Amazon or Barnes & Noble or anywhere where books are sold, or you can go to my website, terrymonroe.com, and it's on there too.
Great.
It's available. To your point about that, Susan, they don't want to test that out and try that, what's going on here. Mm-hmm. And it's going to happen. They're going to get out of business eventually. Mm-hmm. And my big thing, as I mentioned there, is, like you said, the dismal D's, where they don't want to be blindsided. That's why I'm trying to bring to the point. So often the people get blindsided, and there is a process to this. Mm-hmm. It's not like selling your house or selling a car, because people say, well, I've sold so many things before. No, a business is a living, breathing entity. It's like trying to get your hands around Jello.
Yes.
And it changes every day. The business that you have today isn't the business you had last year, and it's not going to be the one you have next year.
Yeah.
So that's why there's a process. And people go, oh, there's a process? Yes, there's a process.
Absolutely. Terry, thank you so much for being on the show today. I've really enjoyed it.
Susan, thank you for inviting me. I really enjoyed talking to you too.
Okay, viewers, here's the book. If you own a family business, you need to get this book. Whether you're thinking about selling right now or not, educate yourself, understand the process. It's all in here, okay? We're going to have links down below so you can get your copy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.